So 12 years in prison, right? Conspiracy to murder. You don't hear that every day.
No, not exactly light conversation.
And the guy we're hearing from today, Darren, he lived it. This former Liverpudlian gangster, this guy's story, yeah, it's a lot, even before we get into, the really heavy stuff.
Well, and that's what makes him so fascinating, I think.
Totally.
He's not holding back, no glorifying the life, just straight up, this is what it is, this is what you're risking.
And that's what this deep dive's all about, The underbelly of these UK gangs, the sentences they're slapping down.
Yeah.
And this whole G-code thing, we're going to unpack all that.
Yeah, the impact on young people especially, it's heavy stuff.
Absolutely. So we said 12 years, right? That's what G did. But here's the thing in the video. He keeps saying he got lucky.
Because the law changed, and it changed big time.
Exactly, after his case.
Right. He got caught before this thing called the Goodyear ruling back in 2005. That changed everything. Mandatory minimums, all that.
Oh, I know about this. Didn't that really ram up the sentences for firearms offenses?
Huge jump. Even if they don't actually, use the weapon, just having it can be enough.
Wow. So Guy's basically saying that under today's laws, forget 12 years, he'd be looking at, what was it, 35?
35, yeah. And that's just for his case, right? Conspiracy to murder. Before 2005, that didn't automatically mean a life sentence.
Right.
But the Goodyear ruling, that changed the game entirely. His case is like exhibit A of how much things shifted.
So for anyone caught up in that life, it's like, bam, totally different ballgame.
Absolutely. And what really hits home is he doesn't just talk about himself, right?
Right. He brings up all these other guys.
Exactly.
Mark Richardson, 32 years. David Terra, 42 years. I mean, come on.
And it really drives home that point that, like I was saying, this isn't just him. This is so much bigger. These are young guys, and they're basically, that's it, Most of their lives gone.
Yeah.
It's a systemic thing.
And then he talks about this other guy, Wes Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Wes didn't pull the trigger in anything.
Right.
Just transporting a firearm, doing what he was told. That's it.
And that's what gets me, it's like G is saying, look, they don't care if you're the mastermind or just following orders.
30 years.
30 years. It's just...
It was brutal. It really makes you think about, the pressure these guys are under. He talks about how those sentences, they turn people into informants. Rats.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're so desperate.
To save themselves, yeah.
Yeah. And that's where this whole G-code thing comes in, right?
Exactly.
This code of silence. Loyalty no matter what.
And G's point is, it's like a weapon, that code. They use it against these young guys.
Totally. It's like they're trapped.
Trapped between a rock and a hard place, yeah.
Decades in prison. Or you break the code.
Which, in some ways, can feel like an even bigger betrayal.
Right.
Than going to prison.
And it's heartbreaking, honestly. Because you can just hear it in his voice.
Oh, yeah.
The anger.
He's furious.
It's like he's furious at the people who do stay silent, who don't say anything.
Because they're perpetuating it, keeping the whole thing going.
Yes. He keeps saying, you need to warn people, tell them the truth.
Yeah, don't let them fall into this trap.
Yeah.
Because he's seen it.
And he's lived it.
He's lived it. And he knows that this loyalty they talk about, it disappears.
Poof, gone.
The second those charges come in.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
It's all about protecting yourself then. And he even goes there with, technology and stuff.
Oh, yeah, he talks about that.
The police are using these encrypted phones, staying one step ahead of them.
Yeah, they're watching. They're listening.
It's like he's giving a warning,
Oh, absolutely.
Don't think you're smarter than the system.
To anyone who thinks they're, invincible, he's like, nope, they're onto you.
Exactly.
And I think that's such a key takeaway,
Yeah.
Because there's this, allure
Oh, yeah.
of this life. You think you're untouchable.
Right.
But he's saying, no, you're not.
So we've talked about the sentences, we've talked about the code, we've talked about this whole tech thing.
Right.
But what about the why? Why are these guys getting sucked in the first place?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. And, he hints at it, talks about the allure, money, belonging.
Yeah.
That sense of, family.
Which, let's be real, that's powerful stuff.
It is. Especially for these young guys.
Especially if they're coming from, difficult backgrounds.
Yeah.
Looking for something, anything.
Looking for a way out.
A place to belong.
And that's the insidious part, right?
Totally.
Preys on that.
It preys on vulnerability.
Yes. But what Guy makes so clear is that it's a dead end. It's like all those promises, they don't mean anything.
The brotherhood, the loyalty, the money.
Because the second the law shows up,
They're gone.
they're gone.
Yeah.
He even says, it's like, what was that phrase? They sell you a dream.
Oh, yeah. He said they sell you a dream and then they deliver a nightmare.
Yes. They sell you a dream and deliver a nightmare. Okay. I want to stop right there for a second.
Okay.
Because I have to ask. If you could say one thing to these young people, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're on the edge. Maybe they think this is it. This is their only option. What would you tell them? What's that one takeaway from Guy's story that you just want to, like, shout from the rooftops?
You know, it might sound, I don't know, maybe a little cheesy or something, but honestly, there's always another way.
Yeah.
Always. It might not be easy. It might not be, glamorous or whatever, but it's a way out, a real way out.
Yeah.
And it won't land you in a cage for half your life.
There's always another way. Yeah, I don't know about cheesy, but you're right. That is what sticks with you. After all those stories, it's like, you want to judge, right?
Yeah, it's easy to say make better choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But G's story, it's like, these aren't just, names on a list.
Right, statistics.
Yeah, these are real people caught up in this, I don't know.
System.
Yeah. That often feels,
It's like it's working against them
yeah.
from the start.
And that's the thing about G, though, isn't it? He's been there.
He has, and that's what makes his perspective so valuable.
He's not some,
Outsider.
yeah,
Mhm.
like preaching from an ivory tower or whatever. He's been there.
Lived it.
He felt that pull.
He gets it, the camaraderie, that rush of, easy money,
But he's also lived the other side of it.
the isolation, the fear,
Yeah.
the betrayal, the years and years of just gone.
It's like he's saying, look, I bought what they were selling,
Mm-hmm.
and I almost lost everything.
Don't let that be you.
Yeah.
Don't make the same mistake. And what really gets me, he connects it all,
Oh, yeah.
to the bigger picture.
He talks about that a lot.
He talks about poverty, about these young people, they don't have
Opportunities.
opportunities. Exactly. They don't see a way out.
Mm-hmm.
And so they turn to this.
Desperate.
Yes.
It's like that whole, what is it? Nature versus nurture.
Right.
Like, is it where you come from? Or is it the choices you make?
And he seems to be saying it's both, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's like this,
Toxic cocktail.
yes. And you get stuck.
And you can't get out.
It's so hard to break free.
But then that's why what he's doing now, it's so important.
Absolutely.
Because he got out.
He did. He found a way
And now he's using it, what he went through
to help others,
to try to,
guide them,
yeah.
to show them, look, there is another way. He even talks about like wanting to work with these young people, right?
Oh, yeah, like mentoring and stuff.
Mentoring, exactly. Be that person he didn't have.
To show them there are other options.
It's amazing.
It's like I don't know, it's like he's trying to break the cycle,
Yes.
Not just for these kids, but
for himself.
yes,
Like he needs to atone.
for what he did.
It's powerful.
It is.
Yeah,
So I guess it all comes back to that, doesn't it? There's always another way.
there is.
It might not be easy, but
It's out there.
and it's worth fighting for.